Hello. Did you enjoy that? Something gave that away. So, je suis Dama. J'aime les jeux vidéo et je suis très, très désolé that my French is so mal.
Désolée que mon français soit si mauvais.
Merci, merci. Now, for the second part of this evening, I'm going to be taking care of the panel Q&A. So the talent that you saw earlier, that you got a tantalizing glimpse of earlier, will be returning to the stage soon. But before that, I thought I'd have a very brief tête-à-tête, more French, with David Cage himself. So David, could you please return to the stage?
David Cage.
Thank you. Deserves it.
Ah, il mérite bien ses applaudissements.
Yeah, I know.
Tu parles très bien français.
So, David, I mean, you must be so excited about this event.
Ça doit être formidable pour toi cette soirée. Ça vous plaît? Ça vous a plu?
Your French is impeccable.
Ah, toi, en revanche, ton français.
So, we saw the rest of the Quantic Dream Team earlier.
Bon, on a vu le reste de la Dream Team.
Has it grown significantly since the days of Heavy Rain? I mean, how much bigger is Beyond Two Souls than Heavy Rain as a project?
Depuis Heavy Rain?
So we started 16 years ago.
On a commencé il y a 16 ans.
It was on nice. And before that we were 5.
Avant
we started
on était
working on this game called Omicron, the Nomad Soul.
Et puis
and
on
we
a
were
travaillé
39.
sur Omicron.
Big
Et on
team.
était 39.
Then
Omicron,
we
the
worked on a
Nomad
game called
Soul.
Fahrenheit,
Puis
and
ensuite
we
on a
were
travaillé sur
75.
Fahrenheit. On était
Then we worked
75.
on Heavy Rain, we were
Ensuite Heavy
110.
Rain, on était 110.
And on Beyond, we were at Quantic Dream in France, we were about 200 people working full time on the game for 3 years.
France, à peu près 200 personnes à plein temps pendant
Now,
3 ans.
in terms
C'est
of
énorme.
the script and the amount
Alors, il y a le
of
scénario,
locations that the game's set in, this must be by far the biggest project in that regard too.
C'est vraiment le plus gros
Right,
projet,
so-
non?
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, tell me a little about the script. That, I mean, you
scénario.
oversaw the writing of the whole thing, didn't you?
Yeah,
tout
yeah. I was
supervisé.
fortunate to do this.
Oui, oui, j'ai eu la
Actually,
chance de faire
it's really the most ambitious game
fait,
created
c'est
at
le
Quantic
jeu
Dream in
le
16
plus-
years.
le jeu
It's
le
probably
plus
3 times bigger
ambitieux à
than
Quantic
Heavy
Dream
Rain
depuis,
in many aspects. It was
16
about
ans, 10
a
fois plus
year
que
in
Heavy
writing
Rain.
for a
Il a fallu
script
à
of
peu près
about
un an
2,000
pour écrire ce
pages.
scénario
And
d'environ 2000
it was a year in
pages.
shooting,
Il y a
shooting
eu un
pretty
an de
much every
tournage,
day for
avec
a
un
year
tournage
with
quasiment
about
tous les jours pendant 4 ans.
160 actors.
160
And
acteurs.
it was a year in assembling all the
Et
pieces of the
puis un
puzzle
an
together to
pour,
try to create
assembler
this
ce
experience.
puzzle pour
Great
créer
stuff.
cette
Now, I believe
expérience.
that everyone else is ready to
Moi,
go.
je
So,
pense que tout le monde est
shall we
prêt.
join the rest of the crew
Et si on allait
over here,
rejoindre
David?
les autres?
Let's go. So I'd like to welcome back to the stage the rest of the talent. Lorne Balfe,
Aux autres,
Kadeem Herdison,
Lorne Balfe,
Willem
Kadeem
Dafoe,
Herdison, Willem
and
Dafoe
Ellen Page.
Et Ellen Page. Mesdames et messieurs, des applaudissements.
Here they come.
Et les voilà, ils arrivent.
Hello, everyone. Seems like only
Bonsoir à tous.
earlier this afternoon I saw you all together. Isn't it
Je crois que je vous ai
strange?
vu. Ne serait-ce que cet après-midi, ça fait
So my
bizarre.
first question is
Bon,
for
première question.
Ellen and Willem, actually.
Pour Ellen et Willem, en fait.
The relationship
La
between Jodie
relation
and
entre
Nathan is really
Jodie et
a
Nathan,
central part of
c'est
the whole
vraiment
game's
quelque chose qui est
narrative.
au centre de
I'd like to hear
l'histoire
your
de ce jeu.
respective takes
J'aimerais bien
on their
avoir votre
relationship.
avis
So
à l'un
Ellen,
et
I
à
mean,
l'autre
how
sur
does
leur
Jodie
relation.
perceive
Ellen,
Nathan?
Jodie, comment est-ce qu'elle voit Nathan?
Well, I think it's, you know, beautiful relationships
C'est
in many
une-
respects.
c'est une très belle relation à
also
bien
a
des égards.
complicated one,
Puis
which
c'est
as
compliqué
you
aussi.
continue to play the game,
Et à
we'll
mesure
learn
qu'on
more
avance
about.
dans le jeu, on
Um,
commence à le comprendre.
No, I think Nathan becomes
crois que
somewhat of a father
Nathan,
figure to her.
devient
You know,
une sorte de
he also
père pour elle.
represents something in her life that
Il
has
représente
caused her
quelque
life
chose également dans sa
pain
vie
and difficulty
qui
of
lui
being isolated from
a apporté beaucoup de
other
difficultés,
children her
beaucoup de
age and
douleurs,
having
qui
such
l'a éloigné
a
des enfants de
strange
son
way
âge,
of growing in the world.
ce qui fait qu'elle a grandi d'une manière un
So
petit
it
peu
can
étrange.
definitely leads to some interesting conflicts
Donc
and
il y a des
complications as
conflits,
the
des
story
complications
continues.
assez intéressantes.
And
à
Willem,
mesure
where do
qu'on
you stand on
avance.
that relationship?
I think she did pretty well given the
Je crois
taste.
que
And to say any more kind of,
elle a dit ce
you know,
qu'on peut dire.
I always feel like I'm giving away the game if
J'ai
I say
toujours
any more.
l'impression de...
There's always the danger with David's games, isn't it? And just to illustrate that, we've got a brief clip, I believe, which shows Ellen and Willem in
Alors, je crois qu'on a
action.
un petit clip où on les voit tous les deux.
So this is you guys in the motion capture studio.
Jodie, you've been begging me for weeks. You're not going to back up now.
I don't know anybody there. They might all hate me, and the stress is awful. Let's just go.
I'm begging you. Jodie, do this for me.
Good stuff. Now, Kadeem, what can you tell us about Cole Freeman? Very little has been revealed about the character so far, but we did get a little teaser of him there.
Enfin, on a un petit teaser quand même.
Can we even get a job title?
Est-ce qu'on peut savoir qui tu es dans
Willem's
ce
assistant.
ce jeu? Bah, je suis l'assistant de Willem,
And
en fait.
like, if he's the father, I'm the
Si
uncle,
il
the mother.
est le père, moi,
Yeah,
je
the
suis
big
peut-être,
brother. Big
la
brother.
mère,
More of a
l'oncle,
big brother.
non, le grand frère. Allez.
Yeah.
And Laura at the end, hi. The soundtrack is also
Et
obviously
Laura,
another major
la bande son.
dramatic device
Ça,
for
c'est aussi
evoking
quelque chose
mood
qui apporte,
and emotions. Now, you've got
beaucoup
experience
de
across
sentiments
TV,
dramatiques,
film,
etc. Alors,
and games.
tu as beaucoup fait
What
à la
techniques do you have to adopt with
télévision,
Beyond
pour
to
les
ensure that
séries,
you can still
dans les
maintain
films
the
au
same
cinéma,
level of drama and
etc.
tension that you would
Mais alors, comment est-ce qu'on
in
fait
a
pour
TV show
garder
or a
cette
movie, despite the fact that
tension
it's really the
comme on
player
le
that's
fait dans une
directing
série ou un
most of the
film,
action?
alors que c'est le joueur qui décide de l'action ici?
With this game, it's
En
far
fait, ce
more
qui se passe
complicated than
avec
any
ce
game
jeu,
I've ever
c'est
worked
que
on
c'est beaucoup plus
because of the
compliqué
fact
que pour
decisions
n'importe
can
quel autre
change.
jeu pour lequel
But
j'ai travaillé,
the most
puisque
important thing is
finalement,
telling a
il peut y
story,
avoir des tournants
and it's just
inattendus.
the same as a
Mais
film.
c'est une histoire
And there's one
d'émotion, et
big
ça, c'est
arc,
la même chose que
and we're
dans un
trying to
film.
tell a story with
Et
the
on
music
essaye de
and
raconter
Jodie's
l'histoire au
character.
moyen de l'histoire et
It's
du
a hard task to try
personnage
to
de Jodie.
do a theme that's the
Et
emotions
c'est très
that
difficile,
everybody can
effectivement,
relate
de
to. So
faire un
I
thème
think that was the hardest thing, was to try the right
émotionnel
theme
qui
and play
peut
it to
interpeller
David,
tout le monde.
because
C'est
he'd
peut-être
lived
ça
this
qui était le plus
character for
dur,
so
parce
long.
que
So it's
David
that's the
connaissait le
challenge, is to try
personnage
to
depuis
have
si
something that can
longtemps,
just
il fallait
help the
trouver
player have a
quelque chose
story.
qui pouvait
And I understand
aider
that
le
you've worked with Hans Zimmer on
joueur.
plenty of other movies.
travaillé
How
sur
is the
bien
working
d'autres
relationship
jeux et de
different
films.
on
Alors,
Beyond?
sur
It's,
Beyond, est-ce que
it's
c'était un
exactly
peu
the same,
différent?
because you know,
Non,
to
la
us,
relation,
this is not
c'est
a game,
exactement la même,
it's a
parce que
film.
pour nous, c'est pas un jeu, c'est
And
un
I
film.
think nowadays film and
puis,
games are the
Les
we
films,
have
les
the
jeux
same
aujourd'hui,
discussions.
finalement,
It's
les
the same as an
discussions sont les
actor.
mêmes.
You don't look at
C'est
it
la même
as a
chose pour un
game.
acteur, on ne voit pas ça comme un
About telling
jeu.
a story. So
Il
doing the
s'agit de
music
raconter
is
une
exactly
histoire,
the
et pour
same.
la musique, c'est exactement la même chose.
David, now, many screenwriters find it difficult to write
David, beaucoup de
one good ending
scénaristes
to a movie.
trouvent très difficile de trouver
With
une
this
fin
game, we've had to
satisfaisante
deal with
à un film.
23. I mean,
Et
what
là, il y en a
lengths do you
23.
and the rest of the Quantic Dream team go to
Alors,
ensure that they all
comment
work,
vous
that they're all
faites chez
satisfactory,
Quantic
that
pour
they're all kind of
toutes ces
cohesive in
fins
the kind of
possibles
wider storyline?
fonctionnent véritablement?
Story is already as a nightmare.
effectivement,
But what I tried to do
on a
with
cette
Beyond was
histoire
not to
en
try
nous. Ce que j'ai
to
essayé de
tell
faire
just
avec
one story,
Beyond,
but to
c'est
create this
non pas
narrative
de
space
raconter
in which
une
the player
histoire,
can
mais de
really make
créer
his
un
own
espace de
decisions
narration
and
où
tell
le
his
joueur
own
peut
story.
prendre
So
ses
it's really a
propres décisions,
collaborative
raconter sa
work
propre
between
histoire.
me as the
Donc,
writer
c'est
and
un
the
travail de
player,
collaboration
because together
entre
we
moi
create, we
qui
tell this
suis
very unique
scénariste
story
et le
that will be his
joueur,
journey
parce
in Beyond.
qu'ensemble,
But the main
nous
challenge for
allons
me
raconter
as a
l'histoire.
writer
Mais
was to make
pour
sure
moi,
that
finalement, ce qui était peut-être le
whatever
plus difficile,
path
c'était
you
de
choose in the
m'assurer que
story of
quel que soit
Beyond,
le
it's a good
chemin
path, it's a
choisi,
satisfying path, it's
que ce
rewarding, it's
chemin
consistent,
soit
of course, it's
bon,
emotional,
qu'il
pretty
apporte
much the
les
same way.
émotions,
So whatever is your
qu'il
story, there
soit
shouldn't be a good and a bad story, there should
satisfaisant.
just be
Donc, il n'y a
different
pas
stories.
de bonnes fins, de
one
bonnes
key
histoires
character
et
that
de
unfortunately
mauvaises
couldn't be
histoires.
with us
Il faut
today
que
is
toutes soient
Aiden.
bonnes. Alors malheureusement,
He's here.
Aiden n'est
I'm sure he's somewhere in the
Somewhere.
room.
n'est pas ici sur scène, mais je suis sûre
Ellen,
qu'il est
obviously
quelque
your
part.
character is closer to
Bon,
him, it,
évidemment,
whatever
le
it may be,
personnage,
than any. What can you tell us
est assez
about the
proche tout de
relationship
même.
between Aiden and
Alors quelle
Jodie?
est cette relation entre Aiden et Jodie?
And
C'est
fun thing to
intéressant,
perform
ça,
as
faut
an
le
actor,
dire.
you know,
Et
just
puis,
entire
en tant
scenes
qu'actrice,
by yourself that are
finalement,
often
il y a des scènes où on est
incredibly
tout
emotionally
seul,
intense,
avec une
and
intensité
you're
émotionnelle
having a
immense,
conversation with, of course, with
et une
nothing. So just that
conversation
exercise
avec,
alone
avec
for
du
an
vide,
actor
avec
is
rien.
wonderful.
Bon, c'est
And
quelque chose de très
you know,
enrichissant
of
pour
course,
un
as the
acteur.
game continues,
Et à mesure
people learn
que
more and more and more.
le jeu
and,
avance, évidemment, on en sait de
that's
plus en
about
plus.
all I can say.
C'est
The
tout ce que
theme
je
of
peux
this
dire.
evening is going to be vague.
Yeah.
Oui, bon, donc je sens que ça va être
Now, one thing
vague
I've
ce
noticed
soir.
from playing Beyond and watching some of the footage is that
Alors,
you're causing players to kind of face
que
a
je vois,
much wider
c'est
range of
que
emotions than they might encounter in
finalement,
most video games, including
on est
those that they
face
might
à
not
beaucoup
actually be
plus d'émotions, une beaucoup
that
plus grande
comfortable
palette
with.
qu'avec les autres
Why do
jeux
you think
vidéo.
that
Certaines
the
émotions
more
d'ailleurs qui sont
developers and
peut-être un
publishers
peu
aren't taking the same
dérangeantes.
risks you are in that
Alors
in
pourquoi
trying
les
to
autres ne
challenge
prennent-ils pas tous
players'
ces
kind of
risques
preconceptions of what they're
que
supposed
vous
to
prenez pour
feel
essayer
when
de
they play
mettre
a
à
video
mal
game?
les préjugés des joueurs?
I try to do, I mean,
Bon, moi ce que j'essaye de faire...
there are so many emotions that you can feel in films or in TV series these
d'émotions qu'on a
days,
dans
or
les films, ou
in
dans les
literature, or in
séries, ou
art
dans
in
la
general.
littérature, dans l'art en général.
This palette of emotions
Et
usually
cette palette
match the
d'émotions,
emotions that you can find in
généralement,
life.
correspondent aux émotions
But games,
qu'on
for
peut
whatever
ressentir dans la
reason,
vie.
some of them
Mais
really
les
focus
jeux,
on certain
soit la raison,
emotions
ont
and
tendance
not
à
on the
s'attacher à
entire
certaines
range of
émotions
emotions.
et
So
pas
what
la
I try
palette
to do
entière.
with
Alors
Heavy
moi, ce que
Rain
j'ai
and now
essayé
with
de faire
Beyond is
avec
just
Heavy
to
Rain et avec Beyond
tackle all
maintenant,
these
c'est
other
d'essayer
emotions,
de m'attaquer à
making
toutes
you
ces
feel
autres
empathy,
émotions.
making you feel sadness, making you
L'empathie,
feel
la
uncomfortable.
tristesse,
All this kind of
la
things is
gêne,
really
toutes
really
ces
interesting to me.
choses sont très
So
intéressantes.
let's talk a bit about the actual process of recording
Alors
your
maintenant,
performances.
parlons
Willem,
de la
I believe
façon
you already
dont
had a bit of a jump over the other
enregistré,
guys. You
vos
starred in John Carter
performances,
not that long ago,
alors,
where you not only had to wear a
toi,
performance
tu
capture
étais
suit,
dans
but also,
John
was it
Carter
3 foot
il y a
stilts
pas
you had to perform in as
si
well?
longtemps, mais tu avais des échasses.
So
en
what
plus
can
du
you tell us
reste.
about that experience and what that taught you about
Alors, est-ce que-
about kind of
est-ce que
acting
ça
in
t'a
this
appris quelque
form?
chose sur la façon de jouer un petit peu dans le sens où il fallait le faire?
Carter, you still
En fait,
were
avec ce jeu,
filming
c'est un
it
peu différent
conventionally.
quand même, parce qu'avec John Carter,
You were
c'était
still
quand même un tournage
conscious of camera positions
conventionnel.
and you had
On
lots of
connaissait
technical
la
responsibilities.
position des
The way
caméras, il y avait
this
des
motion capture was
responsabilités
done,
techniques. Ici,
we
avec la
had
capture de
a playing
mouvement,
field
on avait
with
un
basically
terrain
nothing
de
in it,
jeu où il n'y avait rien.
65 cameras ringing
65
the
caméras
playing area,
tout autour.
and essentially we would play
en
the
gros,
scenes. We were given some
C'est
geography,
là-dedans qu'il
but
fallait jouer la
sometimes
scène.
we
On
had
nous
the
donnait
barest
des
minimum
indications
of furniture,
géographiques,
of
mais
props.
parfois, il n'y avait
So
quasiment
clearly,
rien.
you have to use your imagination.
Et
You
c'est
don't have
l'imagination
things
qui doit
to
prendre le dessus
orient you.
dans ces cas-là.
You have
On
to
n'a rien
make a
pour
lot of things up.
s'orienter. Il faut inventer
And that
constamment.
turns out to be quite freeing
Et
because
finalement,
with everything
ça libère
stripped
dans
down,
un certain
all you
sens.
could deal with was deal with each
Parce
other.
que,
And
finalement, on
the
se
actions you
focalise
were
l'un
playing
sur l'autre
and the
et
things
sur
that
les
you were trying to
actions,
affect in the other person or accomplish for your
ce qu'on
character.
essaye de
So
faire
that
avec
kind of
son
stripped down
personnage. Donc finalement,
approach
ce
for us
dépouillement, en tout cas
was
pour ce qui nous
really
concerne,
interesting.
c'était quelque chose
And
de
we also
très
worked very
intéressant.
fast. And John
Et
Carter,
puis
you
on a travaillé très
maybe
vite. John
generate
Carter,
a half a minute of
il y avait peut-être
material a day.
30
We were
secondes
generating 20
de
minutes
tournée
of
par
material a
jour.
day. We were shooting
Sur
like
ce
30
jeu,
pages,
c'était
where
20
on a
minutes
big
par
film like
jour,
John
30
Carter, you might
pages
shoot
pour
a
un
half a
grand film
page.
comme John
So
Carter.
it's a very different
Finalement, on tourne à
process.
peu près une
In that regard, then,
demi-page.
did you guys find some of your stage acting,
Alors,
classic theatrical experience
Est-ce
actually
que votre
benefited it when you were
expérience sur les
acting in this
planches
environment?
vous a aidé dans cet environnement?
I mean, also, acting,
à fait.
performing
Avoir
this
joué au
way
théâtre,
without
effectivement,
stopping, you can control your
Parce que
rhythms
ça
more, you can
permet
do
de
the whole
jouer
scene,
sans s'interrompre,
which is
jouer
nice
toute une scène d'un
because
bout à l'autre.
without
On peut
interruption,
contrôler son propre rythme. Il
scenes
n'y a pas
start to take a
d'interruption.
rhythm and they start to carry you,
Les
and
scènes
you get
prennent leur
momentum.
rythme.
And for me,
Et
just
puis
generally,
finalement,
when
on est
you're in
emporté,
motion,
par ce
you're
rythme.
clearly more fluid and
Et-
more
et
receptive. When there's
effectivement,
lots of starts and stops,
Quand
you always have a little
on
gear up
peut
time.
jouer un peu sur la longueur,
You
il y a
need a
plus
little
de
movement to get you
fluidité.
going, and working
Il
in
faut
this
un peu de
manner
mouvement, il faut
was quite loose, and it was amazing how with so little you can feel so free and so fluid emotionally and physically.
Now, on a slightly less highbrow front, Kadeem, I saw an interview with you recently that you performed at Comic-Con, where you talked about the kind of revealing nature of the performance suits. Do you think that maintaining eye contact with your fellow performers was one of the biggest challenges of your acting career?
Les tenues que vous portiez étaient très révélatrices. Est-ce que tu arrivais quand même à regarder ailleurs que
like he said, it takes you back to the purest form of acting. You know, as a kid, jumping from the bed to the couch and not touching the floor because it's lava.
Du jeu d'acteur, comme quand on était petit, qu'il fallait sauter du canapé sur le lit sans toucher terre, etc.
It was so easy that
Finalement, ça a été très
when I saw that piece with the dots on their faces, I forgot that we had dots on our faces. When I was looking at her, I didn't really see the dots in the same way Willem. I don't remember now seeing the dots. It was, you better get into my eyes and stay there because that's where it's happening.
It's like seeing into the Matrix, you saw beyond the dots.
Exactly. Right past the dots. The suit you can't hide anything in, so you don't even want to look at what's happening with the suit.
Ellen, did you find it important to form, well, more important than you have in films, to form an emotional connection with the characters when that's pretty much all you have to tap into when you haven't got any kind of physical reference to environments or even an outfit to kind of attach yourself to?
You have no choice but to really just dive into the process head on. And the experience as an actor is amazing, because as Willem was saying, we are so not used to tackling 30 pages a day. I mean, that is just unheard of. And it's because there aren't set changes, the camera's not moving, there's not a new lighting setup, you just go, 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 go. And with Jodie's journey and her story, I mean, it's incredibly emotionally intense, and when you're shooting, you know, 4 or 5 variations within a scene, I mean, it is it's challenging. It's challenging. What's so great about it is you can't really over-intellectualize things, you can't think too much. All you can really do is give yourself completely. I mean, thankfully I was working with incredibly talented people, and just was really about being present and honest and raw and staying there all day. You know, that was about it.
I believe we have a very short clip that shows Ellen in action, a side-by-side comparison of Ellen in the studio and how it appears in-game.
Leave me alone. We've been running for weeks, and for what? I have no home, no money, no food. My life is a fucking disaster. I'm tired of running. I give up. Do you hear me? I give up.
We got nothing left to eat. Got to do something about it. You want to see how things work around here?
Sure.
Yes.
I probably said it several times, but I was truly amazed by the talent of these people, and working with Ellen and Willem in particular, and Ellen, I saw her crying many times on set, not because it was painful, but because she was in these very, very emotional scenes, and oh my God, it was moving on the set. So that was something was very sad to see, actually. We felt very bad, but actually the performance was just amazing each time. And I'm so glad that it translates into the game. You can feel the emotion that was on set in the game. So,
Really just brings that out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Great. Now, Lorne, composing and recording for a film often means viewing scenes and composing music that complements those moments. But with something like Beyond, which is entirely computer-generated and scenes are being finished at different moments and times, how did you deal with that kind of unusual schedule?
A scene like that's interesting because a lot of the time when you're doing a film, you're looking at what is happening on the left, and you never see anything finished until the premiere. So we were very fortunate to getting a lot of the scenes that you see on the right, and that's a luxury when it comes to composing, because normally we're kind of left in the dark. You see, it's supposed to be a robot on the screen, but it's somebody holding a green sock shaking it around. So this was 10 times easier in one respect to trying to score a scene, because you could see the finished product and the colours, and that's one thing that's hard in film sometimes. Until it's finished, you don't truly feel and taste what's going on the screen. So we were very fortunate to be able to see that when writing it.
So in some ways it was more beneficial.
Oh, totally, because you kind of don't sometimes have to try as hard, because you can see the actual end product of what's going on. So this is a luxury to be able to work like this.